Hello everyone. So happy to have you here on my May Marketing Bootcamp. And for those of you who have been with me since day one, I would love to hear if you have any big takeaways or if you've been using the steps that we've been taking so far and what difference it has made for you, because I want to make sure that you're really grasping everything that I'm teaching. This is the best stuff that I've got, and I know that you are here because you want to make a bigger difference in the world. So if you are just joining me for the first time, my name is Amy Yamada, and I'm here to help you to deeply connect with yourself, your vision, and your ideal clients so that you can create the impact and the income that you've always wanted. So I was thinking about today's topic because this week is all about the create part of my Create, Connect, Offer system. And one of the things that I know, oh my goodness, sometimes these things happen. One thing I know is that when you are wanting to really make a massive difference, part of this is all about creating your signature offering or creating your packages, especially those of you who are coaches. And I think back to early on, I did what a lot of coaches do, and I would look out and see what other coaches were offering. And I'd go to events and I'd just get an idea to get a template or a swipe file or a framework of how these coaches were putting together these packages. And initially I had these little itty bitty packages, it's like package A, package B, package C, or I probably did the whole like silver, gold, bronze. If you're doing that, there's no judgment, okay? But here's the thing. My packages were tiny. Like it would be something like a package of 3 coaching sessions, or 6 weeks of coaching, something where it was little. And not only was it little in terms of the time frame, like, okay, let me back up, because it's not always about the time frame, but the packaging was little and the pricing was little. So I may have had packages that were anywhere from $250 maybe up to $1,000, and that felt super stretchy. And the problem with that is that if you're really wanting to make a massive difference and really make this your business, like not just have it on the side, really just decide that this is my business and I want to dedicate all my time to it. I mean, all my business time to it. Of course, we create the balance in our lives. Then having those little bitty packages are not going to add up in terms of what it is that you want to have as your lifestyle. Now, it's not just about you and making money, right? It's about you and making a difference, right? So my point is, I went from having these little packages that were getting me nowhere, and they weren't even like a great win-win for the client, because a few sessions is not going to get them the transformation that they want, right? So I finally shifted from these little packages to deciding to offer premium packages, and knowing that it wasn't just about me upping my rates, it was about me creating more for more. So you can write that down. Create more value for more of an investment from your client standpoint, and know that by doing that, you can make more of a difference, okay? So once I did that, I remember, and I know I've shared this before, I don't offer this package anymore, but the first premium package that I offered was a private coaching package that was 6 months, and it was 4 60-minute, I don't recommend this, by the way. It was 4 60-minute sessions per month. And now I realized that that was actually too much coaching, because in between sessions, my clients didn't have enough time or feel they had enough time to really do enough between each session, if that makes sense. But anyway, all that being said, it was a 6-month coaching package, 4 sessions per month. And the price point was either $5,000 upfront in full or $997 per month for 6 months. So I'm not sharing the pricing with you for you to use that pricing per se. I'm going to go into that today. However, it was one of those things where I finally valued myself, and I was like, you know what, I can create more for more value for a higher investment, and be totally committed to helping my clients grow and have their breakthroughs in their businesses. And that's when the shift happened, where I started to really see that breakthrough. So this was even before I had an email list, before I had any online marketing funnels, before I was speaking on stages. I was networking. I was definitely putting myself out there, but in an old school way, which I still believe in, getting out there and meeting people. Of course, I do love the advanced, marketing strategies now with the online elements. And I also want you to know that even before you have all that, you can still create a great package that you put out there in the world that makes a difference and bring in some nice income. So really what it's about is initially deciding, right? Just making a decision and saying, okay, do I want this business, for those, I know I'm really kind of focusing on coaches today, but if you're not a coach, just take what's relevant to you, okay? But you get to decide, like, is this something that I really just want to focus on the coaching and don't want to stress out about sales and marketing and don't want to, really make this a full-time business, because there is a whole side to it that a lot of people don't love, and that's okay. But if that is you, then make a decision that this is not going to be what brings in my income. And this is going to either be something I do for free or do something on the side, and I will have these little packages, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just decide right now. Or, if you've been a coach for a while and you're like, yeah, I really want to have that next breakthrough, you can also use today's training to really have a breakthrough in your next premium offering. Okay, so I've up-leveled my offerings each year. So the other way to look at it is, what? I know that there are coaches out there that are rocking it out, and I'm telling you, I love what I do every single day, all day long. Like, it's so much fun. There still are the all behind the scenes elements, and now I get to lead a team, and it's just, I pinch myself as far as like what I did to get here, and knowing that I'm really loving what I'm doing now. So my point is, you can decide right now that I get to be a premium coach. I get to make this my full-time gig. This is an actual business, not a side hustle, not something that, some people have shared with me like, yeah, I've been telling my family and friends what I'm launching or what I've launched, and they're like, oh, good luck with that. And I'm telling you, just notice who you let influence in your life. Notice how they're living. There's no judgment on them. Just notice who you let influence your life. Because if I decided to let everyone else tell me what my value was worth, then I wouldn't have broken through. Not that they didn't value me, but they just weren't in the entrepreneur world that I now live in. So that's where having a great coach and a great community and knowing that they get to hold you high, that's where that value comes in. That's why I believe in it so much. And that's why I've been creating my own community. I've done programs, and now I've got this amazing powerhouse community that is growing, and it's so exciting. So my point is, I just invite you today to just take a moment and check yourself, right? Just check in with yourself and just say, is my business a side hustle or a side business or something that I'm doing more as a hobby, which there's no judgment on that. Just make a decision and totally rock that out. Or am I so committed? Have I decided that this is my passion? This is what I'm so committed to doing. I will figure it out. Obstacles will come up and I will overcome them, because there's no reason why I can't do this. Okay, so this is the kind of mindset that I'm talking about. And when you've decided, like fully decide, I know that when I decided to launch my business, there was no turning back. So I didn't know what was ahead of me. I didn't know what things would come up. I knew what I was excited about, for sure. I knew what I was scared about. I didn't know what was going to come up, but I was so committed, and I continue to recommit every single day because I'm so passionate about what it is I do. And I just love being able to create my own schedule, my own lifestyle, my own vacation time, all these things, and not have anything limit me. And the only thing that I come up against, of course, is myself. And I can consistently notice, like if I ever have that little voice, this little voice that comes up that says, at that next level, right? Like, who am I to think I can do this? I just know, I'm like, that's interesting little voice. I'm going to do it anyway, and just break through and surround myself with people who have already gotten to the other side of whatever obstacle I'm facing, and just commit out of my mind that I'm going to overcome this, because nothing gets to stop me from my vision, my dream, my purpose, my mission, and my message. So that's why I'm all about having a powerful message, creating your signature offering, which is what we're talking about today, and making a decision. Why would you not? Like, in my opinion, for those of you who decided like this is going to be, or it already is, and I'm up leveling my full-time business, it is an actual business, not a hobby. For those of you who've decided that, why would you not decide to be at the top of your game? Like, why would you not decide to say, like, I'm going to be shoulder to shoulder with the leaders in this industry, whatever industry you're in, and I'm going to rock it out because I'm here to make a big difference and to have that financial freedom so that I can take care of my loved ones, so I can go on the trips I want to go on, so I can give back in a big way. And if more of us purpose-driven entrepreneurs stand shoulder to shoulder and do that, just imagine the ripple effect that we can make together, like not just on our own, but together. So I'm really excited for you to be here with me today. And if you're fired up like I am today, then know that we get to make a difference. So go ahead and click on the share button. Like, I know sometimes you're like, I don't want to click on the share button. Just know that there might be someone that hears something from today's training that can make a massive difference for them. And when you click on that share button, just put a little note just saying, hey, this is all about creating a coaching package for you coaches out there, something like that, so that they know what to look for in the video. And you just never know. So go ahead and take a moment. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. You're not going to miss anything. Click on the share button And that way we can really grow this momentum of purpose-driven entrepreneurs moving forward. Cheers to all of you. Good morning. Good afternoon if you're East Coast. Okay, so I'm going to dive right in. Okay, so this is all about creating your packages and pricing and packaging for success. I can't tell you how often entrepreneurs come to me saying, I don't even know what I'm offering. And even if I have this coaching package or this offering, I don't know what to charge for it. Or Amy, I see you doing these powerhouse retreats. How do you structure them? How do you put them together? How do you charge for them? What is the price point on it? Wow, how can you charge that much for it? And I'm like, it's because the value is there. So I'm going to break it down into these steps. So feel free to take notes. And the sooner you work on these steps, the better off you'll be. Okay, you ready? Excited? I'm excited. Okay, so first of all, you get to think about the structure. Write down structure. So if you're thinking about the structure of an offering or a program, there's so many different ways to structure it. So if it's like premium private coaching, one-on-one coaching, you can decide if it's a group, like a live group coaching program. So maybe you're going to use Zoom or instant teleseminar or free conference call, or there's all sorts of platforms you can use for a group coaching program that's live. Maybe you're creating a product. Maybe you're pre-recording a 12-week program. It's my Post-it. I have these Post-its. Oh, the behind the scenes stuff. Maybe you can think about like a product that you're creating that's like a 6-week or 8-week or 12-week product, and you're going to pre-record everything and you're going to make it an evergreen product. Or maybe you're wanting to create a subscription or a membership-based site where maybe it's a lower end investment, knowing that can take time to build up. So sometimes I think people get excited about like, oh, I'll just charge a low amount, but then it can take a while. And if they're needing to get the cash flow higher sooner, then I actually don't recommend that. So for those of you who are wanting to really create a premium package, and I know I attract a lot of people who are similar to me, who love like whether you're doing it like I am, or you're wanting to do it, you're wanting to work with your clients in a live capacity, whether it's online or in person or a hybrid of both, and you're wanting to attract those high paying clients. So if that's you, go ahead and type in and just say, yes, high paying clients. Excuse me. So my point is, think about the structure. Today, I decided to have coffee instead of water. I mean, I will have water. I know some of you have been seeing that I've been improving my water intake, but I needed some coffee today. Anyway, okay. So think about the structure. Think about the structure. And if you're a newer coach, what I do recommend is that you focus on private coaching first. And here's why. If you jump to offering a group coaching program, if you jump to doing an evergreen product, which by the way, I did both of these things early on and learned, then you're missing out on the learning experience that you get to have when you work with someone one-on-one. You are also coaching them. They're learning a lot from you, and you're learning from them what kind of questions they're asking you, how you can guide them and support them, hold them to their highest level of accountability. So working with people privately is a really powerful experience. And you can, because it's your time and your expertise and your give, you can charge a premium for that. And initially you might be like, but how can I charge a premium? Don't worry, I'm going to get into that, okay? So that's a great way to work with people. There's also VIP intensives. You could do a 1-day intensive training or a 2-day intensive training. And then you can also add on some support after that. So I've done things like offering a 1-day intensive training followed by 30 or 60 days of support via Voxer. That's Voxer for those of you who don't know the app, Voxer. It's a really great app it's a free app that you can download on your phone, and it's like a walkie-talkie. So if it's open, you can actually hear people live when they push on the button. They're like, hi, this is so-and-so. Or if it's not open, then it records them, kind of like a voice text, but it keeps it there. And of course, if you want to go to the next level, a pro level, it has security measures. Anyway, it's a really cool app, and it's a really great way for just laser coaching. So if somebody has a quick question for me, then my VIPs actually have access to me through Voxer. So we connect often. So those are just some ideas. Also, of course, there's retreats. I'm telling you, retreats, they're a lot of work, and they're so much fun. Like, I have had the most fun at my retreats. Like, I love having a virtual business and working from anywhere. And I also still believe there's nothing as powerful as an in-person experience. So now the thing with retreats is that when you're enrolling people into them, then just know that the deal breaker for people can be if the dates don't work for them. So there is that, like, the struggle is real. You know, I had a lot of people that wanted to come to Powerhouse, Florida, that was back in February, and they're just like, Amy, I would give you my credit card right now, except I've got a wedding during that time or another trip or another event. So just know that going into it. I will say that it is, when you put in the work and you have the right team and you enroll like amazing people, it is a magical, magical experience. Like, I was just on cloud nine every single day I was there. So there's all sorts of ways you can do it. So number one is think about the structure. What is the structure that you want? And just know I will be answering questions at the end of this training. So if you think of questions along the way, go ahead and pop them in here so I can make sure to address them with the time that I have, okay? Okay, so the second thing that you want to think about is, how can I make the biggest difference? Like, what will make the biggest difference for my clients? So when you're creating the package, this is your chance to just, you know, go into a quiet space, go into a heart space, and think about, like, what would be a dreamy way to create a package that I believe will make the biggest difference for people. And know that your packages, your offerings will evolve over time. So initially I had the private coaching. Then once I'd worked with a bunch of private coaching clients, then I shifted to group coaching because I really got an idea of who my ideal client is. And I was able to create a group coaching program. And that was a year-long program. And I ran that for several years in a row. And kept evolving the content, really learning how to improve my leadership in it and the structure of it. And then I went to, you know, one thing that was missing for me was the in-person experience. Then I went to creating a community and having an ongoing group coaching program and community so that we actually come together 3 times a year in person. So it's just about thinking about, like, what you believe will make the biggest difference. So as each year I've reevaluated, like, what I was doing, like, what's working for me. This is all my leadership training that's coming in. What's working for you? What's not working for you? And where do you get to go from here? So as I did that each year, I thought, you know what? I know that what really works well, not just as a coach, but as a client and a participant in the community, is that community element, having a really great coach and a really great community and coming together in person. So if that's what I believe in, why would I not create that? Because that's what makes the biggest difference. Okay, so structure is number 1. Number 2 is, what do you believe will make the biggest difference for your ideal clients? The third element is, what would you enroll in? So you get to be enrolled first in whatever it is you create. So if you start creating something and you're just like, okay, it's good, but I wouldn't even enroll in this, then good luck enrolling other people into it. You get to believe in it fully. So for example, when I started to work on my Powerhouse retreats, like, I'd done retreats before where the retreat was the only element of the offering, which if you want to do that, that's great. It's just what didn't work for me was that there wasn't any connection with the group beforehand except with me, like with each other. There wasn't any connection with each other, and there wasn't any connection afterwards. And I thought, you know, I don't know if I would enroll in my own retreat without the additional support. Like, I know the retreat is going to be magical. I know this. And if I were enrolling in it, I would want some additional support before and afterwards, so that everything that I was preparing to do at the retreat and having support afterwards, that was important. So I added on group coaching around it to make it even better. And that way there was also a connection, like, people would actually know, like, at least a little bit of who each other were. And then once we got to the retreat, total bonding happened, total learning, breakthroughs, all of that. And then afterwards, though, there was some additional training, and just created a sense of community. Plus it gave people an idea of what it would be like to be in my ongoing Powerhouse Mastermind. So it's all about congruency, okay? So think about, what would you be enrolled in? What would you be so excited about? Because that's when you get fired up about what you're up to, and that energy will come through when you're on your enrollment conversations or on any platform like this, right? Anytime I talk about Powerhouse, I'm like, it's the best thing ever. So, so just know, I mean, I know my clients will reflect this as well. And I actually get to see a group of them this Thursday and Friday, because a majority of the people who came to Powerhouse Florida also stepped into Powerhouse Mastermind, and they're all flying into Seattle this Thursday and Friday. Super excited. I actually see some of my clients on here, so super happy to see you this week. Okay, so the fourth element is to, okay, so this is all about pricing. This is where people get backed up, and I used to get backed up at this too. Okay, so here's what I noticed about coaches and healers and consultants is that you don't value yourselves, you know, and I'm projecting because I, in the past, have not valued myself. And as I grow, I continue to break through to these next levels of offerings, and I still come up against myself. So So when you want to come up with your pricing, so let me give you an example. Say you are coming up with a year-long coaching program. So maybe it's a private coaching program or package. Think about a monthly amount, like a monthly investment from your clients. And so what you would charge on a monthly basis that is a little bit out of your comfort zone and something you can wrap your head around. So just get yourself out of your comfort zone with something that you still can believe in, even if it feels like really uncomfortable. Like, okay, I feel like I could charge, $500 a month or $1,000 a month. It's a lot out of my comfort zone, and I think I can do it, And I only say this, now some of you might be like, what? That you just come up with your own pricing? Remember that if you are within integrity and excellence as a coach, there's something that you've done in your life, whether it's in your personal journey or in your education or in your trainings or certifications. There are things that you've done to get to where you are now. So I encourage and invite you to not think of yourself as an hourly employee or an hourly coach, right? They're not investing in the hour. They're investing in access to you and everything that you've done to get to this point. And if you're uncertain about what you've done, carve out some time and write it down. And write it down. This is something I've had some of my clients do, is to write down a list of things that you have done to get to where you are now, and then take yourself out of it. So I've done this myself too, because I know that I believe it's a human being condition to have a worthiness conversation going on. So if I were to describe all the things I've done from my 15 years of experience in the media, my education, my speech communications degree at University of Washington, I could talk about, how many people I've consulted even when I worked in my career. I could talk about the hundreds of clients I've worked with at this point in my own journey. I could talk about being in a film documentary called Inspired by 11. I could talk about how I auditioned to win my own show on the Oprah network and what that looked like. I could list all the things I've done. What have I overcome in my personal journey? I could make that list and then take myself out of it. What have I invested in? Oh my gosh, it was easily, if I added up, over 6 figures in my own coaching and my own growth and my own leadership and my own personal development, my own business, and traveling to all these places to learn. And it's not that I always had the money, I just always was committed and found a way. So if you make a list of all these things and then take yourself out of it and say, I know a woman who, or I know a man who, and describe that person, and how would you value that person with all the years, or maybe it's not years, but all the experience that they have. It's a powerful experience, and it's wild to me how we could easily look at other people and be like, wow, they've done all this stuff. I bet it costs X amount to work with them. And it's what about you? What about you? So you get to really think about valuing yourself and then charge what's out of your comfort zone. And then, like I said in the last step, make sure that you're enrolled in it. So go through that process. You can totally do this. Okay, so the fifth element I want to share with you, so I know there's a lot of content today, so I hope this is helpful, is for you coaches who are creating content. Sometimes coaches will come I don't even know what to create. I know that I'm passionate about helping people. I do believe I can help people. I just don't know how to structure my content. And I feel like I need the next 6 months or a year to create my content. I'm like, no. Okay, if you're creating a product that's got a lot of production and you're going to pre-record things, then yes, you're going to have to take some time to map that out. However, I know a lot of you are either doing private coaching or group coaching or retreats, live coaching, okay? If that's the case, then please do not create a set in stone curriculum for the program. And here's why. And I was really confused about this at the beginning. I'm like, what? Don't you have to have the curriculum figured out ahead of time? No, and here's why. Because when you're working with people, either one-on-one or in a group setting or at a retreat, you get to really dedicate it to them and flex and co-create with them and listen to their questions and not say, well, I can't answer that question today because the curriculum says this, So I do believe that you should have an overview and bullet points and an outline, but not be so rigid with that outline that you're not listening and caring enough about your clients to have them ask you questions. And if any of you are working with a group or would like to work with a group, just know that every group is a little bit different. And every group that comes together at a certain time, you'll notice a golden thread of what that particular group needs the most. So I've had year-long programs where the thing they needed the most was all around creating their packages. And we spent a lot more time on creating their packages than we did in sales trainings or marketing messaging, and vice versa. There's others who are like, all about the sales training, mastering the enrollment conversation. So just know that you get to listen and bend with them and flex with them so that you can deliver the best of what you've got, okay? So, yeah, and also with content, sometimes we're like, well, still, I don't know what even the outline would look like. Then typically my experience of most coaches is that the thing that it is that you teach, the industry that you're in, it's because you've got your own personal journey and story around it. So you get to think about, what have you overcome? What have you, what was your pain point, and what are the steps you took to get to where you are now? And know that it's not about a perfect journey, but people are coming to you because they trust you and they resonate with you and they want to learn from you. So you can actually look at what you've done, like the whole make your mess your message, or make your test your testimonial, and then think about where you were then, where you are now, and then reverse engineer the steps that got you from here to here. And that's how I created my Create, Connect, Offer system, because I found myself in a pain point, not making it, and not really making enough to really make this a full-time business. And I was so committed to that. And so then I got really clear on creating my signature offering, a premium offering, connecting with my ideal clients, and making offers. And of course, there's so much beyond that, but those are the initial foundational steps that I teach in every program, because I believe that if those steps are missed, then you're in for a very difficult journey ahead. So, okay, I want to open up for Q&A. And let me know if this has been helpful. Give me some love, give me some hearts for these watching live. This has been helpful so far. And I'll go back and see if there are questions so I can best serve you, okay? Okay, so I see some familiar faces. I'm so proud of you guys for making this a commitment and joining me every morning. So awesome. Okay, hey Ved, hi Olga, Miss Olga. Hi Kelly, good morning. Naomi, good morning, good morning. Hi Amanda. Okay, Cece. Okay, so let me see here. Ligia? I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Okay, yes, you are welcome. Mimi. Yes, Amanda. I am a premium coach. Yes, you are. I love it. Okay, scrolling. Yes, nothing can stop me. I love it. I love all your comments. So great. Hey, Gustavo. Hi, Barbara. Okay, we're looking for questions here. Okay, Amanda. I'm having a hard time expanding beyond 6 months in my package options, but I feel I need a year to get them the results, but they are scared of the price point for a year investment. Okay, so Amanda, I'm just gonna give you the best coaching, and I am allowing myself to be honest and direct my feedback for you. So you're saying that they are scared of the price point. Remember that that's a story. That's a story that you're getting enrolled in, a story that may or may not be true, okay? So I also used to have a mind block around going from 6 months to 12 months coaching packages. And I'm going to tell you, this is so funny. I actually went to my coach at that time a few years ago, and I was like, Shanda, I've been the same coach forever. She's amazing. I was like, Shanda, I have a block in my head around going from 6 months to 12 months in my private coaching, which is ironic because I actually had a 12-month group coaching program I had no problem with. But anyway, I had a block around the private coaching. And I said to her, so how can you coach me to move through that? And she's like, okay, are you ready? It's one of my favorite stories. I'm like pen and notebook, ready. I'm ready for the best coaching of my life. And she said, the next time you have an opportunity to make an offer of private coaching to an ideal client, I want you to offer them the 12-month package for shits and giggles. I'm just quoting her, so forgive my language, right? And I was like, what? And she said, just do it. And at some point when you just do it, someone will say yes. So just kind of don't get attached, really don't be attached, and just make the offer anyway and be nonchalant about it. And just notice that at some point someone will say yes. And sure enough, the second time I made that offer to, they're like, that sounds good. And what I recognized was that the people that I was working with for 6 months would oftentimes renew at the 6-month mark. So I actually was already working with them for a year. I just had some blocks around it. The other thing, Amanda, that helps me is that I tell this to my ideal clients, think about how quickly a year goes by. Just think about it. I don't know about you, but it goes by pretty fast for me. So it's actually not that long of a time in the big scheme of things. And if this is the one area that they really want a transformation in, why would they not commit a full year to it? Okay. The other thing you could do is you could tell them that, okay, if they're stuck in their fear and you're still in the block around enrollment for a year, then you could say, okay, tell you what, why don't we have you sign up, enroll for 6 months with the goal of having another 6 months after that, because I really believe that you need a year. And those first 6 months could be our our stretch challenge to really, for me to be the best coach for you and for you to be so committed to being open and coachable. Because if both fully show up, then at the 6 month mark, they will totally renew with you. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Good questions. I love it. Also, Amanda, and this is for all of you, stand for their vision. Like, just say, I'm taking a stand for your vision, and I truly believe that if we had the opportunity to work together for a year, then it would give you the best chance for success. I wouldn't recommend this if I didn't believe it was going to make a difference for you. Okay. Oops. Okay. Scrolling. Okay. Kelly, for one-on-one private coaching, what is the ideal time and pricing package? Okay. So, I mean, I've shifted to where my VIP clients, so my VIPs commit to a year and hopefully even continue on. I would love to have long-term clients where I just continue to help them grow. And so anyway, but they do commit to a year, and at my VIP level, it's a $25,000 commitment. And so I've structured it really differently than what I did before. And it's at a very high level of coaching. They also get access to my mastermind, which has, anyway, I won't get into all of that. I didn't start there. So let me back it up. What I would say is one thing you could do is, this is just an example, so I'm not saying use this exact pricing, but you could have a 12-month private coaching package, and you could have 2 coaching sessions per month. So I'm going to give you 2 options, 2 coaching sessions per month, and then those coaching sessions could be 30 or 45 minutes in length. And then if you want, you could have an optional 15-minute accountability call or laser coaching call that they can choose to use each month or not. When I used to have this package, it was interesting. My clients only used the 2 coaching sessions per month, and that was plenty for them to have what they needed. The other way you could do it, whether you're at a really higher price point or not, is to do 1 strategic planning session per month. This is what I do now, is having 1 strategic planning session per month. Initially I said 30 minutes, but we usually go in hours. We can really connect. These are my VIP clients. And then the first 3 weeks out of every month, they get Voxer access to me. So they use the Voxer app. And if at any point, either one of us feel the need to jump on a call, then we do that, So if they need additional coaching, it's there. But that way we're not saying, okay, you have to show up this many times a month and have, something to ask of me and be prepared for a coaching session. Like, let's be meaningful. Let's be super focused and only have a session if you need something, and I'm going to give you the best of what I've got. So those are 2 different ways that you can structure it. And I mean, initially, my goal was to get to the point where it was a 12-month package at like the $997 per month level with a down payment of $700. Then I bumped it up to $1,200, then to $1,500. So I just kept bumping it up because I just, I just value myself more. I value my expertise. I value my time. I value what I've invested in. And then I also created more for more. So that's where the higher level just has a lot more in it because they're also part of my mastermind and they get access to all of my mastermind elements. So Kelly, does that make sense? I want to make sure I'm answering your question. And it doesn't have to be that price. Sometimes we're like, whoa, $997 per month. I could never do that. Just know that I felt that way too initially. So baby step it, maybe initially as your introductory rate for your new premium offering, maybe it's $397 per month. Maybe it's $597 per month. I know these funny numbers, 90. You can decide if you want to go there or not. Maybe it's just a simple $500 a month. Just think about that number that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, but something you can wrap your head around, and then create a one sheet, like an outline of what this package is. And then once you've enrolled 2 or 3 people at that level, give yourself a raise. It's all good. And if sometimes you're like, well, what if they talk to each other? Stand in your power to say that was my introductory rate. And as I grow my business and I grow what I'm offering, I grow my content, then my prices increase. Just stand in it. It's okay. Like, you're going to be fine. It's your business. You get to decide. Okay. Catherine, I don't know if I want that length of commitment. Yeah. So Catherine, you get to decide. The other thing I've seen coaches do, and I've even done it before, where initially you could have a 3-month coaching package. And at the end of the 3 months, both of you and your client decide if they want to renew for another 6 months, 12 months. I've seen that successfully done because that 3 months can be almost like a trial of like, or, it's like dating, right? Like, are we good? Do we want to fully commit or not? So you could do a 3-month and do a renewal at that point and just decide. And maybe some people are like, gosh, I don't want to work with somebody that long. Like, if that's you, then maybe you do a different format. You know, maybe you do intensives all the time. Like I know my friend Pete Vargas, he owns Advance Your Reach. All he does are these stage execution workshops. They're 2 days and they're $8,000, but he's got so much value in them and so much content. And now that he's got those 2-day intensive workshops down to a science, like he just rinses and repeats all throughout the year. So imagine having a 2-day $8,000 package and then you've got 15 people in there. I mean, you do the math. I mean, yes, you need to do all the things to enroll all those people. So there's that piece, but there are other ways to structure your business where it's like, I just want to give them the training and then send them on their way and not do a long-term ongoing thing. So, Lihia. Oh, thank you, Lihia. Now I know how to pronounce your name. Okay. Amanda, do you always have them put something down even if the program starts tomorrow? Amanda, ideally, yes. I mean, you could decide if you want to have some flexibility with them, but ideally they've got some skin in the game, So sometimes what I've done, say I have a down payment and then a monthly payment. So when I used to have, I don't have this package anymore, but when I used to have the package that was $700 down and $997 per month, then sometimes I knew that some of my clients were like, paying essentially $1,700 upfront felt stretchy for them. I tend to be flexible, sometimes. So I would say, okay, why don't you just do the down payment now and we'll start your monthly. We can still start tomorrow, but we'll start the monthly payments next month. So that way it gives you a little space and then we're good to go. Yeah, awesome. All right, on that note, I'm going to wrap this one up because as usual, I go way too long. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, go ahead and click on the share button and know that tomorrow we're going to get into cash flow. And so take the best of what you learned today and implement it immediately. Like just think about the questions and the steps that I took you through and whatever piece has been missing for you, implement it now. And just know that, again, I'm giving you the best of what I've got, of what I have done and what I've taught my clients to do to really get to a sweet spot. I've never given at this level before. And I'm doing it because I know that I'm just so committed to having you have a breakthrough and knowing that you get to make the difference. You get to create the financial freedom. You get to take it to that level as long as you decide, commit, and take action. DCA, decide, commit, take action. You've got this, you've got this, you've got this. So one final note, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm just gonna share this really kind of quick behind the scenes. I have 2 people that in the last 24 hours that are flying into my Powerhouse California retreat and part of that experience all the way from Australia. I'm like, that's awesome. I love that level of commitment. I mean, 14-hour plane flight, time differences and whatnot. So these spots are going quickly. So if there's any part of you that's been like, I kind of want to look into one of these Powerhouse retreats that Amy does, I'm telling you, now is the time. I don't know the next time I'll do one. It might not be till 2019 because I've got my big, huge event that I'm going to be focusing on, plus my mastermind, plus speaking. Like I've got a lot on my plate is my point. So life is now, time is now. So if there's any piece of you, part of you that's been like, I've been curious about this. I want to look into it, even though I'm scared, or what's the investment or whatever's coming up for you, it is going to be epic. And we're going to be at Rancho Santa Fe, June 24th and 25th. We've got 6 weeks of group coaching around it. I'm going to give you the best of what I've got. And we'll be in person at this beautiful place in the San Diego area. So if this is resonating with you, if my coaching is resonating with you, like imagine what we can do over the course of a 6-week intensive and 2 full days in person at a beautiful mansion. Like it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be so great. So if you're interested, go ahead and go to powerhousecalifornia.com. You can also find it on my website, amyyamada.com. And let's get on a call and just determine if it is the right next step for you. Like, I'm so committed to that. All right, sending you all much love, and I will be on right back here tomorrow and 9 a.m. Pacific. So I will see you then. Mwah. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.